I made dolly arts, title card says so. I do crafts because my therapist told me to. Let's make stuff. As a young parasite, I was obsessed with 3 major shows: Teen Titans, Dragon Ball Z, and Ninja Turtles. I'm still obsessed. I love every version. Even Ninja Turtles Next Mutation. I unironically love the Coming Out of Our Shells tour and the documentary for it.
Hep hep! Boo! Hep hep! Boo! Hep hep! Boo! Hep hep!
Boo! You stink!
Everything is adored, even this thing. And my favorite character, each and every time, is this guy. That's right! Splinter! You! I love you! Look at him playing poker in his dopey hat thing. I just wanna... I'm so obsessed, I made the 5-foot Master Splinter on DeviantArt that no one remembers. A decade ago. He keeps me company because I promise I will be dying alone. Speaking of being alone, I should combine this good rat boy with something else I like. Say...
Pretty women at the mirror
in the garden,
left and righting,
flower picking,
weather watching how they make a man sing.
I'm gay. Alrighty, we're gonna take a look at what we got here. First is this rat that I got for $1. I mostly bought it just to use its head. Next, we're going to look at Barbie's camping friend here, so that itself is a personality. She was on clearance. Taking a closer look at her friend first, we see the pegs in the back of her head that I didn't bother to remove. If we look down further, we notice that they didn't bother finishing her legs. From the thighs down, it is matte, and it feels kind of rough. Like from mid-thigh up, she's shiny, but mid-thigh down, they gave up. Was this how they saved money on her? She can't even flex. She can't move her legs to the side. God forbid if this lady has to sit down. I am sure if she had to sit in a chair, she would pull a hamstring. Look at that peg on the side of her knees. That's very noticeable. And her arms are stiff, which you could argue that is great for posing. But if I was a kid, I would probably be very frustrated. We're going to take a closer look at this rat now. We're basically shopping around for body parts right now. We're definitely going to steal that head. We like that ratty head. I'm also going to steal those feet. Thought about stealing the hands, but I thought that was a bit much. And the tail, I thought I was going to use the tail. I only used the peg that it goes into its spine with. So first we waterboard Barbie so we can loosen up her head. That way we can pull it off the peg without breaking the peg. The rat didn't have a peg though, so we had to saw its head off. With that removed, we can work on the feet, and the vibration from sawing its feet off caused the tail to pop off. Like, there was no tugging or pulling, it gave up. So we continue to saw off the feet afterwards. There's one. And two. There's our collected body parts. Next, we drill a hole into its head so we can attach it to the peg. And cut yourself. That's great, May. While I was drilling the hole into its head, it popped in half. Like, that separation was faster than my parents' divorce when I turned 18. It just gave up. But it ended up working out for the better because I was able to just reattach those pieces around the peg rather than forcing the peg into the hole. So if anything, this was a good thing. With her head softened, we could just pop it off. Next, we're going to saw off her feet. We're going to pull a Tiffany Valentine and amputate her arms and legs. Just kidding, it's just her feet and hands. Like that's any better. Here's her hands. I kept those to paint them pink. We're also going to paint the feet pink. Off screen, I made this tail because I forgot to record it. It's basically a thick wire that I wrapped around fabric after spraying tacky glue all over it. It'll still be flexible, and it's a lot easier to pose than a hard plastic tail. With her feet gone, I have to sand down those nubs because it'd be looking rough. And for the feet, I ended up getting rid of the rest of the leg and putting in a small wire after heating it up with a lighter. I just pushed it into the plastic, and I'll be doing the same when I have to attach it to her ankles. I'll just reheat it up and then press it into her ankles. This will also give her feet the ability to kind of swivel around a bit, so they're not stuck facing forward. If they're kind of tilted, it can actually make it easier for her to stand up. Now to attach the tail, we do have to drill a hole, that way that little peg there can fit into it. I make sure not to go too deep because she does have mechanics for her legs in there. So I have to shorten the peg. With the peg shortened, it fits in there fine. I'll end up removing like 95% of that tail just to keep its nub and place it inside the tail that I made. I went ahead and painted the head, the feet, and the hands. I also attached the tail, and I used liquid gesso on the chest to mimic a fur pattern. So it actually feels kind of furry. Now I'm onto the stage where I want to add this little floof piece like she has in the reference picture. Like her cheeks just look so fluffy. And I just think it's the cutest thing. With those attached, I also put in some eyeballs. Now I can glue the two pieces back together around the neck peg that I had to cut down. I missed the first time, but I get it the second time. Press those together firmly and wipe off any extra glue. And there we go, it's attached. I use a super gloss on her nose because I think rats have wet noses. I'm not so sure. Now I'm gluing in some false eyelashes, and I adjust it with a pin. With this piece of fabric, I'm going to fold it into itself and then roll it up, floof it out a bit, and then sew the bottom. Because what this is going to be, it's going to be the ponytail like she has in this reference picture, and with that done, I can glue it onto her head. There we go. Kind of sticks out like a puffball, but she will have a ribbon tied around that ponytail, so it'll look alright. This is our finished body right here, and I think she's pretty cute. I mean, yeah, I can see why people would find her creepy, but some ugly things are just really cute, and I have some baby pictures that would gladly vouch for me. So now we could put some clothes on her. I made this little outfit off the screen. I was aiming for a kimono, but then I kept seeing pictures of this two-piece that involved a red skirt. I wish I knew the terminology, but I had no idea how to start finding the name for that, so I'm just assuming it's called a skirt. You know, it feels kind of wrong watching someone change, like, yeah, she's a rat lady, but it still feels kind of wrong. I don't know, I mean, like, do the rules still apply if they're, like, animalistic? I mean, Master Splinter's been naked on the cartoon a bunch of times. Like, the first episode of Ninja Turtles Fast Forward, he was naked. I'm probably putting too much thought into that. And this is the finished result. I think I hit the nail on the head here. I mean, I was aiming for a cute rat lady, and I feel like I accomplished that. Now, I don't know if anyone else would associate her with a female Master Splinter persona, but that's the funny thing about art. You don't really make it for anyone else, you do it for you. And to me, this is how I feel she would look like. I mean, she'd probably be cuter, but it's a skeleton head, what do you want? Okay, so I'm not really good with goodbyes, so I used liquid gesso to paint with thick... Fucking train. Fuck, I lost my train of thought. Oh, I'm so Penny.